Good morning, Kasturians. Let's start the new topic of Chapter 1, Computer System Overview, the memory. In our previous video, we have covered two main functional components of the computer system, that is the input device and the output device. And in this video, we are going to cover a most important component of the computer system or computer organization, the memory. The introduction of the memory says it is a predefined working place where the data is stored temporarily to facilitate its performance. As we all know, memory is the most important unit of computer system organization, which makes it different from all other electronic devices. But the memory of the computer is temporary in nature. As the power goes off, it also vanishes the data from the computer's memory. The memory of computer is also known as primary or main memory. It is the most important unit of computer organization, as we have already discussed. Among the 5 components or 5 units of computer organization: input device, output device, central processing unit, memory and storage, or you can say secondary unit. Memory is the most important unit of computer organization. Coming to memory units, memory can be measured in the form of bits, or you can say byte. Bits is the elementary unit of memory, whereas we understand byte, and a group of 8 bits is called a byte. Bit means 0 and 1 because memory or computer system understand only binary language, that is 0 and 1. Whereas when 8 bits joined together, it becomes a byte, and a byte means any one key of the keyboard. It can be A, it can be B, it can be comma, it can be space. So every character of the keyboard occupies 1 byte, in other terms 8 bits. The other memory units covers, apart from bit and byte, we are having kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, and many more. And all these memory units have a relation of 1024 bytes to the other one. That is, 1 kilobyte is equals to 1024 bytes, whereas 1 megabyte is equals to 1024 kilobytes, and so on. In this way, the memory keep on increasing as per the requirement of the user. Coming to types of primary memory, or you can say types of main memory. Main memory is basically of 2 types: RAM, which is known as random access memory, and ROM, which is known as read-only memory. RAM means it is a read and write memory, means we can read as well as we can write randomly whatever is there inside the memory. RAM is used for primary storage, as it is the important part of primary memory, to hold active information of data and instructions. Whatever we store first goes to RAM. RAM is volatile memory, which means it loses its content as the power is switched off or interrupted. Means whatever we write in the memory goes off if the power is switched off in between. So RAM is able to have a read and write feature, but on the other part it is having a disadvantage that it is a volatile memory. RAM is also of 2 types: dynamic RAM and static RAM. Dynamic RAM, or you can say DRAM, is made up of transistors and capacitors, is having a memory access time below 20 to 70 nanoseconds, so it is very fast, and it is used for primary storage section of computer. So the very first data goes to DRAM, whereas static MEM is made up of flips and flops, and it is faster. Memory access time is 10 nanoseconds. So as compared to dynamic RAM, static memory is a little slow. It is used for specialized applications, means the special purpose softwares are basically used in static memory. So these 2 memories are compared to RAM, used for different types of storage and different types of applications. Coming to the second type of primary memory, ROM. As we know, it is known as read only memory, means ऐसी मेमोरी की जगह जहाँ पर सिर्फ इंस्ट्रक्शंस को हम सेव कर सकते हैं, उन्हें खोल के देख सकते हैं, लेकिन हम उन्हें री राइट नहीं कर सकते, हम उन्हें इरेज नहीं कर सकते, हम उन्हें एडिट नहीं कर सकते. सो द डेटा एंड इंस्ट्रक्शंस आर permanently stored. जब हम उन्हें कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते देखने की सिवाय, तो it is a permanent storage memory part of main memory. And at the time of manufacturing, it can be, after that it can't be changed. So whatever goes inside the ROM at the time of manufacturing is permanently stored, and later the user can only see, can only read, it can't be changed. ROM is non-volatile. So the most important feature is it is slower than RAM but non-volatile. The things, the data, the instructions are permanently, whereas RAM doesn't have permanent storage. It has a read-write feature but volatile, whereas ROM has only reading feature and non-volatile in nature. Coming to different types of ROM. ROM are basically of 5 types. PROM, programmable read-only memory. EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. So in case of ROM, that is read-only memory, we are also having features of erasable, electrically erasable, flash electrically erasable, and mass read memory. So these are 5 different types of ROM, and their features are, the very first one, programmable read-only memory is one time programmable, means we can write the program one time using the burner, whereas in EPROM, that is erasable programmable read-only memory, we can erase fully and many times using ultraviolet radiations within 20 minutes only. The third one is electrically erasable. So selective bytes can be erased electrically, means we can't erase all the content whatever is stored in ROM, but we can delete or erase selective bytes electrically, and it is faster than ultraviolet radiations. Fourth one is flash EEPROM. So flash EEPROM can erase fully. As in EEPROM, electrically erasable ROM, we can delete selective bytes, whereas in flash we can delete everything whatever is stored in ROM very fast as compared to electronic erasable programmable read-only memory. And the last one, mask ROM. Mask ROM means contents programmed by the integrated chip manufactured, not by user. So in this, user cannot do anything. Whatever is programmed is there in the integrated chip. So these are the 5 types of ROM which are having different features. Apart from reading, they are having a capability or provide facility of erasing, but with different selective type. Coming to the other memory, cache memory. Cache memory is placed between CPU and main memory. So it is like a memory which is frequently used. It is like a clipboard which remains in between CPU and main memory. So central processing unit और हमारी primary memory के बीच का part होता है हमारा ये वाला. It makes this data available to the CPU very quickly by sending the data to CPU instead of main memory, and thus reduces access time efficiently. So it is a clipboard where we keep the data for some time, for example cut and paste, so that the data can be frequently pasted out. Cache memory is integrated directly with the CPU chip. जैसे हमने बताया कि CPU और मेन मेमोरी के बीच में होती है कैश मेमोरी, सो इट इज़ डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड विद CPU chip or placed on a separate chip that has a separate bus interconnect with the CPU. So in the last of this video, we are going to learn about system bus also, where we understand how this cache memory work. A cache memory is small memory, क्योंकि ये clipboard की तरह छोटा सा part होता है memory का CPU और main memory के बीच में. So it is very small, that works much faster than the primary memory or ROM. So with this diagram we can understand the cache memory are having 3 levels, L1, L2 and L3, and these 3 levels stored the data of different types depending upon the bus that it is used to control or carry it. Now coming the second part, or you can say the last unit of computer organization, secondary memory or secondary storage. The primary memory is having limited features. It is having either a volatile or a non-volatile. and the storage is also limited, whereas the secondary storage, an important unit of computer organization, stores large amount of data permanently, and this data can be video, it can be instructions, it can be audio and other types of data also. Various storage devices include hard disk, pen drive, or you can say USB, CD, DVD and Blu-ray disc, which is having very large storage memory. Starting with the hard disk. A hard disk is a set of stacked disks, and each disk has data recorded electromagnetically in concentrated circles or tracks on the disk. So hard disk is having tracks or sectors in which the data is stored, and it can store data up to gigabytes, whereas as we have learned, the primary memory can have data in megabytes only. So hard disk is a secondary storage device which can easily be taken it from here to there and can store large amount of data permanently. Compact disc, or you can say CD, very frequently used as it is very cheap. It is an optical media for storing up to 700 MB data, and it is basically of three types. The hard disk is same as RAM, whereas the compact discs are basically for read-only purpose. Whereas nowadays a variety of compact discs are also available in the market, which can be either recordable or rewritable, but with some software, specialized softwares, these facilities are available for CD. So compact discs are used for carrying data easily from here to there, which are basically for the main purpose of read only. Coming to DVD. DVD is also an optical media and can store the data of 15 CDs together in one, that is up to 17 GB data. DVD is also of three types as we are having CD, that is DVD-ROM, read-only memory, DVD-R recordable and DVD-RW rewritable, as we same are having three types of memory in CD. So CD and DVD are same, but the difference is only in storage capacity. Flash memory, which is also known as pen drive or USB. It is a very small. DVD is also circle, CD is also circle, hard disk is a little bit, whereas flash drive or pen drive is very small. Ultra portable storage, so it can be carried away easily from here to there, with a solid state memory or up to 100 GB. So it is having very large memory space, can hold variety of data. It is inexpensive and works in a similar way to RAM. It can even start from rupees 250 and can store up to 100 GB of data very easily. Now coming the Blu-ray disc. It is also an optical media for storing high definition video. So in this Blu-ray disc, we can store audios, videos, our presentations and different formats of high storage definition videos with the new format of blue violet laser. So Blu-ray disc use the technology of blue violet laser to read and write, and it is capable of storing up to 128 GB data permanently. So we have seen that the secondary storage devices, either it is hard disk or CD, DVD or flash drive, or in the last Blu-ray disc, stores variety of data in different formats with different storage capacities according to users' requirement. Coming to the last topic of the memory, the system bus. It is an electronic pathway composed of connecting cables with major components of a computer system. Means in the microprocessor, in the CPU, the system bus is used to connect different parts of the CPU. That is how the hard disk has to be connected to the control unit and the other. Using this diagram, we can understand that the system bus is basically of three types, that is a data bus that carry data, a control bus that controls the instructions, means how the data has to move from arithmetic unit, from input unit to control unit and other parts, the address bus that holds the memory address, so it is also an important part, and in the last the input output bus. So everything in the computer works from input goes at the end to the output, as the computer works in input process output cycle. So in the same way, the system bus is having a important role in the computer system organization, that the different types of system bus helps to carry data instruction and hold address when the system is working properly. So coming to the last, the mind map of computer system overview. Through this map or through this flowchart, we can understand what all we were having in chapter number 1. That is, in the chapter number 1, we started with the introduction of computer. Then we moved to the basic computer organization, or you can say the functional computer, functional components, functional units of computer. That includes input unit with input devices, keyboard, mouse, microphone, and many more. Output unit with output devices, monitor, printer, projector, speaker, and so on. The CPU, the central processing unit, or you can say the brain of the computer. The fourth unit that we have covered today, the memory, which is also known as the main memory or the primary memory, and the storage unit, that is the secondary memory, having variety of storage devices like hard disk, CD, DVD, pen drive or flash memory, and Blu-ray disc. Whereas after that, the system bus that connects all these functional components of the computer. Apart from that, these are the hardware components. We have also learned in this chapter the types of software, system software, application software, and software libraries. And as nowadays every life move around mobile, so how computer system is a type of mobile, or you can say mobile is a mini computer and perform all the functions of computer. That's all for this chapter, chapter number 1 of class 11th, computer system overview. Revise the concepts and do the assignments related to the questions based on these topics. Thank you. Have a nice day.